Overall, what is the quality of the housing stock in Ward 3 in North Canton?
It's in good shape. It's in good shape.
So code enforcement's not a problem?
Not a problem. There's the major problems as I see it, and from what I see from the constituency, there's a major problem all around the schools, speeding. We have to enforce a little more. The people that live on those streets, they don't understand. They've been there for years, some of them 40 years. The traffic counts are way up. We have Snyder Street on 25 mile an hour, but still the traffic flies through there. And people, you know, if you're a little older, you want to sit in your yard, you don't want to see all that traffic going. But that's a way of life. That's one of the main thoroughfares to get to ingress to the city. The streets need some attention, and they're starting to come apart. They've not over the last 3 years. This past summer, they've started a little more attentiveness to the streets. And Stephanie did a nice job on a couple nice streets.
Is the money there for?
The money's there.
It is there. It's not like Canton. Canton's talking about chip and seal now.
No, yeah. I presented a solution a year before I left of a bond. The reason people don't bond streets generally, the life expectancy of a street is about 15 years.
Right.
So you go out on a 10-year bond, you're not really getting a lot of bang for your buck. But my thought is, we know what we have to do. We've not been doing any curb and gutter, and that actually is basic economic development. Figure that out, figure the streets that need it, lay it out on a schematic, figure the total cost, and then bid the whole project. It may take 5 years to do it. But a contractor will put his equipment on the site. We're going to collect income tax off his whole crew, and we're going to get a fair price. He's going to start early. He's going to start in March. He's going to work up to October, and he's going to be done. But we would borrow that bond and do it, or we'll get some grant money to do it. But here we're tearing up Main Street. It's not been down 5 years. We're going to tear it up and redo it on a bond, or excuse me, on a grant. But that shouldn't have happened. That was inspection. The particular contractor that did that work, it was substandard.
So this is where you say that the experience of John Snyder in North Canton government is going to be a positive.
Absolutely. On North Main, and I'll tell you an instance. On North Main, they paved it, a very well-known contractor. I'm driving a week after it was laid down and the street opened up, I'm driving north to go somewhere, and I noticed a large crack along the curb line. I thought, well, that's ridiculous. I park my car, get out, and I look. I go to the engineer, and I said, Jim, what happened? Well, he said what happened, and they didn't use the right gravel underneath. I said, well, who allowed them to do that? Well, I don't know. And I got the city attorney, I got the contractor, the engineer, we got together, made him dig it up and fix it. You know, we just spent $3 million on that. Somebody has to watch the purse.
Okay. Policing in Ward 3.
As far as the police department?
Right. Is it getting the job done?
Seems to be. I've heard no complaints.
Okay.
We got a very fine police department. We got safety forces in general. I don't see that to be a problem. I'm concerned not so much about the police. I'm concerned about EMS. The runs are starting to grow. We're over 2,000 runs a year, and they're expensive. You've got 2 levies supporting that, the general fund supporting it, and insurance reimbursement supporting it. It's just too much. We got to look at that. I spoke to Chief the other day about that. I said, what's going on there, Chief? That's a lot of runs. They're costly. Something.
What was the answer?
He said, well, it costs a lot of money. I said, I know, and we're going to look at it. I mean,